Welcome to the Jaguar King podcast. I'm your host, Armin. I talk everything Jaguars football, usually in tiers. So if you like anything Jaguars or you like anything NFL related, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. It really helps my channel grow. And without further ado, in this week's episode, for Jags fans, pain is the only emotion we know. Another week, another loss. The Jaguars fall to the Green Bay Packers 24-20. A game that everyone, including myself, thought was going to be a blowout, but the Jaguars fought hard on a cold, windy day in Wisconsin. I heard it was so cold that one of the cardboard cutout cheese heads had an ice pick coming down the side of its head. A good loss for those on the tank train, but a bad loss for Doug Marrone, who said at the end of the game it felt like his soul was being ripped out of his chest. That's called a heart attack, Doug. Lay off on the baloney. So let's get into the recap. After a 3-0 start by the Packers, which shocked the world, the Jaguars on their first possession make it down the field, kick a field goal, and they're up 3-0 on the Packers. Another shock to the world. Much of the first quarter was Aaron Rodgers yelling at his teammates like an angry dad. After every missed pass, he was just pointing and yelling at everyone. Did you take the trash out? Did you make your bed? But when the second quarter came rolling around, sneaky ass Aaron Rodgers hits a bomb to the guy with like 6 different names for a touchdown. The ref goes flying. They score. They're up 7-3. Just like that, and all Rodgers needed was the win. The Packers don't hold the lead for much longer, though. After a stop on 3rd and short, they punt the ball off to Keelan Cole just to watch him absolutely smoke them 90 yards down the field and make their punter do the Irish jig. Fucking fly. If I'm the punter in that situation, why even try to size him up and make a forward tackle? This guy runs like a 4-2. You're the punter, dude. No one's going to blame me if you miss. If I'm the punter in that situation, I'm doing a full fucking somersault right at the guy's knees. Who cares if you miss? No one's going to blame you. They're like, hey, dude, good effort out there, huh? He's a fast guy. And he's like, hey, I'm the punter. What am I going to do? But don't sit there and try to size him up like you're going to fucking Ray Lewis him. You left your ankles on the field, dude. So now the Jaguars are actually up 10-7. And that's when Aaron Rodgers was like, fuck, I actually have to try. He drives down the field with ease, walks it into the end zone. And to celebrate, he looks up at the sky and just screams at the top of his lungs, much like what I do when I gotta wake up for work. Before the end of the half, Luton guns it right to the Packers defense. Eifert did slip on this play. Apparently the Jaguars were playing with sneakers. They forgot their cleats at home. Their whole MO for the first half was just falling and slipping everywhere. So they pick it off, prime position to score right before the half. There's about a minute and a half left. But the Jaguars defense actually holds firm. 17-10 going into halftime. I'm actually not feeling too bad at this point. I thought it was going to be 24-0. In the third quarter, Aaron Rodgers hits Davante Adams' apple with a perfect slant route. And when he caught it, I was like, oh my God, he's about to go like 97 yards to the end zone. He's about to smoke C.J. Henderson. C.J. Henderson catches up to him. Davante Adams shits his pants, loses the ball. Miles Jack picks up the ball. Jones looks like a stripper, makes him do a full split after he jukes the shit out of him. Takes it out inside the 20. The Jaguars are in prime position to score. And that they do. Jay Gruden whips out his Madden playbook and runs a double slants that works no matter what. Jake Luton drops back, closes his eyes, guns it over the middle to Keelan Cole. Perfect pass for a touchdown. 17-17. We got a ball game. They're going back and forth for much of the third quarter. Jaguars are driving at the end of the third, and to start the fourth quarter, they tack on a field goal. It seemed like whenever Aaron Rodgers had to kick it up a notch and make sure he drives down the field and scored, he just did it at ease. The drive started with Andrew Wingard slipping on a banana like Mario Kart on a key third down, and it ended with Davante Adams leaping 15 feet in the air to catch a pass on a cool play design by the Packers offense. After that, the Jaguars could never really sustain a drive, and even after the defense made a clutch stop on 3rd and 1 to get the ball back with about 2.5 minutes left, the Jaguars offense couldn't do anything with it. It started off with a pass, could have been a huge play over the middle to Keelan Cole. If he caught it, there was probably 20 to 30 yards of running room for him, but it got deflected at the line. Look, Jake Luton, if you're going to sit back there like a bamboo tree, put some lift under the ball. But regardless, after making it into Packers territory, they go straight backwards. They sack Jake Luton twice, and on 4th down and 26, he was running around like a psychopath, and he throws it to James Robinson, who couldn't do anything with it even if he caught it, and that was the ball game. Jaguars lose 24-20 in a close one that could have been an upset, but just another loss for the Jaguars and one step closer to that number 1 or 2 overall pick. So let's get into my observations for the game. I'm going to start with the defense because I thought going in they were going to get absolutely torched, but another game down and another game where they didn't allow 30 points. A firm handshake to you, Todd Wash. All things considering, they played pretty well. They gave up a lot of plays, but they produced 2 turnovers, and they had a 4th down stop, and they gave the offense plenty of opportunities to take that game away from the Packers, but they just couldn't capitalize. A few players I do want to give a shout out to. Devon Hamilton is playing really well for a rookie. He's at the defensive tackle position, which usually doesn't get a lot of love because no one really knows what to do. They just know they eat eat a lot and they put him up there and they plug up the holes. Well, he's doing a good job of that. And he's really filling in for RB Jones. On the back end, Sidney Jones and CJ Henderson had a big test with Aaron Rodgers and their receiving core. They played better than I thought. They made a lot of plays. They gave up a lot of plays. Sidney Jones gave up that long touchdown pass, and CJ Henderson also gave up that touchdown to Devontae Adams. But for the most part, they were in it and they were battling with those receivers, especially Devontae Adams, who's one of the best receivers in the game. So while they gave up some plays, they definitely made some plays to make up for that. CJ Henderson forced a fumble, and Sidney Jones had that clutch interception for the Jaguars. My second observation is James Robinson needs to be in the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation. Doesn't have to win it, but at least put him in that conversation. He has no good QB play, and he's putting up a lot of numbers. And his numbers would actually look better if it wasn't for the 2 holding penalties that took back 2 of his touchdowns. Which leads me to my next observation. These refs sucked ass. I get it, you were cold, but that's no excuse for just forgetting how the rules work. Freaking bundle up. And it wasn't just the Jaguar. There were definitely questionable calls on both sides. I remember early in the game, Miles Jack had a really questionable pass interference penalty. And then to make up for it, they called that chop block where Josh Allen threw the player into the Jaguars player. Then the holding calls on James Robinson touchdowns. The first one by Oshag Hennessy. Sure, I can see it. He kind of, the player dove as he was holding him. But the second one on Angie Can was absolutely awful. He did nothing. That holding call on Josh Allen on the Devontae Adams touchdown was pretty questionable. The pass interference on Keelan Cole was absolutely absurd. They called it deflection, and then they realized that the guy who deflected it was the guy who committed the pass interference, and Doug Marrone was ready to twist their necks. I'm pretty sure Doug Marrone called that challenge flag, not because he cared about the outcome of the play. I don't even think he knew he can challenge that, but I just think he wanted to kick the shit out of the ref. Nothing but respect for you, Doug. My last observation goes to the quarterback. Jake Luton played okay. I like his arm strength, and he's a pretty good decision maker for the most part. He doesn't really put the ball in harm's way. He definitely has accuracy issues. It was a windy game, but even in the Texans game, his accuracy looked spotty, but his arm strength definitely makes up for that accuracy because the ball gets there faster and the defense doesn't really have time to react. Despite his flaws for the last 2 games, we've actually been in those games for the last 2 games, and it feels good not getting torched even though we're losing. And for this season, that's all we can really ask for. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening to my horse shit. Leave a comment down below what you thought of that game. Did you think it was going to be a blowout? Did you think it was going to be a close game like it was? What did you think of the play of the defense of Jake Luton? Let me know your thoughts below. Thank you for those who have subscribed. Your support means a lot to me. Next week, we got another tough opponent. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'll see you then.